changed my channel name to Gaming and Books. My two passions rolled into one. Here are the video games I played in the final third of 2025. First is Passion Puzzle Hentai Maidens. No, I'm fucking with you. What I actually played was Persona 3 Reload episode Aegis. It's only been over a year, but I finally got Persona 3 Reload and I went immediately into the expansion. I already played the two previous versions of Persona 3, so I was all caught up with the story. It starts out with our heroes winding down their heroic antics by turning in their evokers, which are kind of like guns they use to blow their brains out to summon their personas. Huh, when I put it like that, it doesn't sound very good. Anyway, something called the Abyss of Time shows up, which traps our heroes in their dorm building. So now they have to explore the Abyss and find a way to eliminate it. The main character this time is Aegis, who can now summon multiple personas. And once you know it, she runs like Naruto. Is it actually cool to pretend that your arms are dangling uselessly by your sides? Asking for a friend. You have a total of 7 other characters to bring into your party, who have their own strengths and weaknesses. This is a Persona game, alright, but besides the story, characters, and Persona system, this is a rather basic labyrinth crawler. There are no social links, calendar, or deadlines. You just run down a series of labyrinths, going from one boss fight to the next. Episode Aegis is missing what gives the modern Persona games their special appeal, so sad to say, I didn't especially enjoy my time with it. I'm glad I experienced the story with its special moments, but if I wanted to play something like Etrian Odyssey, I'd play that. I'm also not fond of this practice of DLC which is not DLC. It's actually content that's locked away behind a paywall. Unless you want to tell me that episode Aegis is only 1 megabyte large. At least the game looks really good in 4K, with just about perfect resolution. Which makes me wonder why I can't say the same for Metaphor ReFantazio, also from Atlas. Even in 4K on the same machine, there are jaggies and pixelation. Is it due to data compression? Or the fact that it's a proprietary engine instead of Unreal? Next is Fire Emblem Warriors 3 Hopes. I was actually thinking of revisiting 3 Houses, but then remembered I had this in my Switch storage. I'm not big into the Warrior series from Omega Force. I had made an exception for this since it's basically a sequel to Persona 5. I had gotten 3 Hopes because I thought it might be fun to see the story of 3 Houses in another way. In this game, you don't start out as Byleth, but as this guy with a dead purple chicken on his head. He's the one who encounters the heirs to 3 nations and rescues them from a bind. Instead of turn-based strategy, it's time to run all over and swing a sword with simple button combos. Mr. Dead Purple Chicken on his head is a chosen one, of course, with some sassy spiritual being as his guide and source of amazing powers. I was soon given my choice of house to join. I chose the Azure Lions since I never played as them in 3 Houses. It's led by Dimitri, who has that sexy late 90s wet hair look. Makes you want to run your fingers through it, huh? And hope that you don't get pruny skin. As tempting as it was to stick to Mr. Dead Purple Chicken on his head, it was best to play as an assortment of team members. That way, they can each get the most experience and level up. But the game's Fire Emblem influence runs deep, as I can go to the map and direct my team to attack various targets. There's also base building, weapons training, class upgrades, and the classic Fire Emblem weapons triangle. So this game was more like a typical Fire Emblem game than I thought. Well, I guess it's now confession time, as I didn't finish it. I didn't even get far. I had hoped this game would get me into the Warrior series, I really did, but I found myself not looking forward to booting the game back up. Running around a battlefield, managing a team in real time, was a little frustrating. But not only that, I always thought the battles in these Warriors games were awfully silly. You're a lone warrior and you're surrounded by foes, most of whom mill around as if they don't even have 2 brain cells to rub together. Meanwhile, you're the Incredible Hulk, chopping up foes like they're nothing. It just looks and feels really strange. And yes, I know being OP'd is a classic anime trope, so I shouldn't really get my knickers in a bunch, but I can't help how I feel about this game. It wasn't fun, and my anticipation for it was low. So I bit the bullet and wrote off this game as a lost cause. I'm not saying it sucks or anything, it just isn't for me. I think I should adopt that wet hair look though. Nah. I got a letter today. The name on the envelope read, Mary. She wrote, I found your little AI girlfriend. I put her in a cell deep underground. Find her if you can, you codswallop son of a bitch. Hugs and kisses, Mary. I don't even know a Mary. She sent this to the wrong guy. I mean, I swear. Silent Hill 2. Have you ever played a survival horror game you couldn't complete? For me, it was the original Silent Hill 2. It was my second playthrough, actually, and falling into an empty grave for the second time disturbed me so much I had to put it down. I felt like I was doing something wrong and would inevitably come to a bad end. It was my bad, of course, because everything was going according to script. The remake was low on my radar until I saw it at Target for $50. I figured, what the hell, I wanted to get something. And what I got was a remake with easier play control, but tougher battles. If that makes sense. Enemies will charge you, grab you, do a little dance for you. Not to mention, gang up on you. At least in this game you can dodge, which makes you invincible for a short time. The trick is to get the timing right so that enemy attacks will go right through you. There are firearms, of course, but ammo can be very scarce. My tip for you is to use only melee attacks in the apartment level so you can save much needed ammo for later on. You know, the dancing fountain at the Bellagio can be a wonderful sight. Except that it reminds me of this. Yeesh, I'd rather have a golden shower. There are also misshapen mannequins, and everyone's favorite, the faceless nurses. Which would you rather have take care of you? This one or this one? But forget battles, Silent Hill 2 is really about maze navigation. Whether it's an apartment building, a hospital, or a prison, it's all the same. Go here, go there, get this key item and use it in this location. It's usually what survival horror games are about, but it can get a little tiresome. What this game really excels at is atmosphere. Going through dark corridors with your little light, anticipating enemy ambushes, is spooky as hell. Not to mention the other world, a mirror universe filled with decay, filth, and an unnatural starless night sky. It looks like hell as imagined by Clive Barker. It's accompanied by eerie background noise that sounds like more than just wind in a cave. It sounds like the breath of an unseen observer just waiting for your demise. It's what made the original so brilliant and spooky, and it's replicated to great effect here. Writing scrawled on walls is pretty common. One of my favorites is this one. There was a hole here! It's gone now! Not sure what the hell this means, but it was very important to the author. Speaking of holes, here's the look of a man who really likes what he's doing. I remember how fans were concerned about the voice acting in the remake, for they liked how the original voices made the characters seem a little off. Well, the performances in the remake do sound more professional, yet they're keeping in spirit with the original. The characters still sound troubled without being melodramatic like in the PS3 remaster.
Who is it?
Someone very important to me. I'd do anything if I could be with her again.
This game is known to be buggy, and yeah, I saw a few bugs, such as a cinematic repeating itself, and one item I couldn't pick up because the button prompt didn't work. Fortunately, there was nothing game-breaking, but frame rate drops can be disappointing. I may not be a very big fan of the Silent Hill series, but I'm glad to see Konami recovering from rigor mortis to produce this quality remake of a bona fide classic. Now come on, Konami, try making something brand new for a change. Oh wait, you did? Huh.
Son of a bitch!
Next is Fire Emblem 3 Houses. It's a game where you move little people from one square to another. You may laugh, but there are people who do that in real life, and they get all pissy when a computer beats them. Fire Emblem Engage was praised for going back to basics, which means that 3 Houses is mostly known as the entry that dared to be different. It's often compared to Persona, and while I'm sure Intelligent Systems were inspired by Persona, I think the comparison is exaggerated. Previous games have had social conversations and skill levels. It's just that this game handles them quite differently. Basically, you're a teacher of war in this monastery, which is hugely ironic when you think about it. You do fun activities with your students to fill their motivation levels. You then expend those levels to raise skill levels of your choosing. And the skill levels of each student determine what new class they can upgrade to. It's a natural flow of progress with plenty of customization. In some previous games, you can only raise skill levels in battles, which made unit development pretty tricky to manage. When not teaching or fighting, you run around the monastery doing quests and side activities. And you look like a damn fool with your sleeves flapping behind you. Seriously, what the hell is up with that? Couldn't a simple cape do? Capes look good enough, I don't care what Spider-Man says. Side activities include fishing, weapon tournaments, sauna sessions, and inviting companions out for tea, such as with Edelgard here. Edelgard loves tea, but be careful, if you serve a tea blend she doesn't like, she'll kill you! Well, no, but she'll be very disappointed. Combat is classic Fire Emblem, with a few new features. You can assign battalions to your units to give them new abilities, and there are great beats with shielding and multiple life bars. Battle isn't fast-paced like in Three Hopes, but this game allowed me to chill out and take my time, with YouTube videos in the background. As long as you know what you're doing, this game can be pretty relaxing, which is a touch ironic, given how the story is one of the more mature ones in the series. We're talking classism, physical abuse, capital punishment. It makes Fire Emblem Engage seem like Pee-wee's Playhouse. The plot twist mid-game was something I did not see coming in my first playthrough, and when I did see it, I thought I had figured out what was going on. Turns out I was wrong about that, because the plot twist isn't variable, it's set in stone. It was pretty daring of the writers to include this twist, and I respect them for it. At any rate, play Engage if you want a solid strategy game, but play Three Houses for a more fulfilling plotline. And yeah, I have some Fire Emblem amiibos, plus amiibo cards. They're much cheaper and work just as well, and they have really good artwork. Except for this female Robin. No such amiibo exists, and female Robin does not look like that in her respective game. I also have the Byleth amiibo, which I will never take out of the box. For, you know, reasons. Thing is, I can't scan it while it's in the box. Talk about your first world problems.
Well, well, aren't we sweet? Oh, look at you with your little arm cannon and Iron Man suit. Oh, I'm sorry, it's actually a power suit. Like you have any power. Now look at me, got a real weapon, yeah. My sword is all crooked. It looks like a pair of teeth, ready to chew you up and spit you out. And it can channel lightning too. It's magic versus tech, baby. And magic wins every time. Bitch!
What compels me to do this stuff? Well, anyway, here is Castlevania Symphony of the Night. These are all the Castlevania games I finished beforehand. Yes, even Legends. And yet, I've never played the game that started the Metroidvania style. I thought about doing it last year for Halloween season, but went with something else. Well, this year I had no more excuses to not start up Symphony of the Night. This is the PS4 remaster, because it was either this or spend $200 on a disc I can't start up anyway. Unfortunately, the remaster has the rewritten dialogue from the PSP version, so I didn't have delightfully cheesy lines like, "What is a man? A miserable pile of secrets!" Even though the rewritten dialogue really is better. But you didn't hear that from me. I defeated Dracula as Richter Belmont, waggling my whip in front of him like a Wii controller. But according to the story, Richter disappeared afterward, so now I'm playing as Alucard, the Dampier son of Dracula. In true Castlevania tradition, you can find a pot roast within a crumbling wall. Its sanitary value may be in question, but beggars can't be choosers. The castle is huge, but not unreasonably so. It's ripe for exploration, and I got a feel for the locations of different areas. While playing Fire Emblem, I had to take breaks every 2 hours or so out of mental exhaustion. But for Castlevania, I felt like I could keep on going, just play well into the night. I was driven to fill out the map, find new equipment, and level up. As I had said for Silent Hill 2, you go here, you go there, you pick up key items, and use them in certain places. It's the same for this game, but it was less annoying for me. My progress was slower, and I may have had more ground to cover, but I wasn't constantly swiveling the camera around, looking for button prompts. It also helped that the music was upbeat and catchy. That in itself can go a long way in my enjoyment of the game. Some of the content surprised me, such as statues with naked breasts and penises. They're not well-rendered penises, but come on, there's no mistaking those for baby carrots. And then there's this thing. My god, how many naked zombies can you have? There's no way Nintendo would have allowed something like this on one of their machines. Oh wait, they actually did. Will wonders ever cease? Finding new abilities can help me reach new areas, such as the dreaded clock tower, which was good at kicking my ass. I mean, look at this. I could one-shot those harpies, but with the Medusa heads knocking me back and petrifying me, plus the gears turning me this way and that, I felt like a pachinko puck. The gargoyle boss ended up beating me because I relied too much on my sub-weapon, when really my magic rod main weapon was all I needed. In my next boss battle though, my sub-weapon was a godsend. Who has time to study enemy movement patterns when I could just throw blue fire at them? I'll admit I used online help, although I sometimes found stuff on my own just from exploring. But I never would have guessed that I needed to retrieve 2 rings, silver and gold, to see the game's good ending. After shrugging off spikes like a boss, I met Maria from Rondo of Blood, all grown up. I guess she left behind the silver ring for me to pick up. I put on the 2 rings in the clock room and opened the way to the castle's heart, where Maria waited to test my strength. Sure, it looks like she's kicking my ass, but I won out in the end. She then gave me the holy glasses. I put them on just before meeting Richter and aimed my strikes at the flying green orb. I was then met by the dark sorcerer, Shaft. You're damn right. Shaft summoned what every Castlevania fan knows as the Reverse Castle, which is Dracula's castle upside down. This thing is really weird when you think about it. So, don't. Stepping into the Reverse Castle was kind of surreal. It was at once familiar, yet strange. Candlesticks and chandeliers were upside down, plus statues and this entire tower in the background. I was also plenty nervous because I knew the game was going easy on me up until then. I'd have to step up my game, or the game will step on me. And it did, such as with these plant bitches, which would have been much harder to defeat without blue fire. I followed a map, but took my time, leveling up and going for Alucard's lost equipment. The primary objective is 5 bosses who have Dracula's treasures, such as Frankenstein's monster. After taking care of his creator, the monster must have signed up for acrobatic lessons, because man, look at him go. He was a chump though, one of the easiest bosses of the lot. With all 5 treasures in my collection, I made my way to the Reverse Castle's heart, beat up Shaft, and then confronted Dracula. Yes, this is actually Dracula. And this dude is Dracula. And this dude is Dracula. And even this dude is Dracula. You think I'm kidding, but I'm not. And I actually beat him on my first try. With some kind of food in my hand, look at that. Maybe the remaster is seriously nerfed. Or maybe it was easy because I was level 50 with the best equipment. It's possible. So that's Castlevania Symphony of the Night. And you can now count me as a fan of this one. Alongside this one, I may not be the best player at this type of game when it comes to technique, but the music, level design, and sense of progression made this a fun way to while the hours away. Next up is Bye, Sweet Carole. I have a love-hate relationship with Disney animated movies. An evil sorceress turned into a dragon? Cool! A bunch of fish dancing to Under the Sea? So when I saw the trailer for a game that looked like a dark fairy tale in the Disney Renaissance style, I was intrigued. I thought it would be a great game to help get me into the Halloween spirit. But did it? You play as Lana Benton, a young girl at a British boarding school who's searching for her missing friend, Carole. The other side of the story is this mysterious animal kingdom who sees Lana as their princess. This is essentially an adventure game that's a lot like Clock Tower, with a little broken sword thrown in. you collect and use key items, and have to solve logic puzzles, many of which involve electric circuits. In the third chapter, Lana turns out to be a bunny, so you can switch between her human form and bunny form. As a bunny, she's more quick and agile, able to make long leaps and high jumps. At various points, you're hunted by a predator, whom you'll have to run and hide from, just like in Clock Tower. Unlike in Clock Tower though, there are unlimited continues and very generous checkpoints. I was more in danger of getting stuck on a puzzle than getting set back by an untimely death. Between chapters, I usually got treated to an FMV that wasn't quite Disney quality, but I didn't mind. I did mind the music though, as it's nothing special. It's just atmospheric orchestra, there to fill a void and nothing more. The story can get confusing at times as it shifts between fantasy and reality, but I thought it was tightly told, and things eventually made sense by the end. In conclusion, it's a nice little adventure game for $25, but it's still one of those games that's clearly made by top talent, yet it feels like something is missing. Last year, I played a game that's similar in tone, Little Goody Two Shoes, which was more satisfying due to its personality, style, and multiple endings. Nonetheless, Buy Sweet Carole is an easy recommendation for fans of cozy games. Not so much for others. Next is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. This is Lara Croft. When she wants something, she goes out and gets it. And it's usually adventure. She's one badass bitch, and she doesn't let anyone put her into a corner.
I have to go! I'm the only one!
You're the only one that can what? You don't know that you caused all this, Lara! Not everything is about you!
Oh, no, you didn't. You're gonna get your mouth sewn shut if you keep that up. Oh, but this is Reboot Lara, not original Lara. Reboot Lara is kinder, gentler. She can just sit down with you and chat, and not make the conversation be all about her. Unlike original Lara, Reboot Lara thinks things through and attempts the peaceful approach to situations. Okay, I take that back. She's a little psychopath when she wants to be. I played the previous games in the Survivor trilogy, and for the most part this third game is very similar, with the addition of stealth options during combat. You can hide in bushes and vine-covered walls, and cover yourself in mud for even more reduced visibility. And since enemies are relentless, taking them all out from the shadows should be preferable. The usual bow and arrows are back, but this time I was given firearms much sooner, so I didn't feel like Robin Hood all the time. True to the game's name, there were tombs I could raid, full of traps and precarious platforming, so I could earn stuff like boots or gauntlets. Gotta admit though, I only went through one of them, since it was the story I was mostly curious about. After a quick glance, you'd be forgiven for thinking this game was pushing for realism. But you'd be dead wrong. For one thing, Lara is pretty much superhuman, with inexhaustible stamina and strength. She can grapple a cliffside without tearing an arm out from its socket, and her bare fingers are apparently made of steel. She can shoot an arrow with a heavy rope attached, and the arrow is strong enough to hold the rope in place. And changing directions and rushing waters is no problem. There's even a scene where Lara goes full commando. You ever seen Commando where Arnold Schwarzenegger should have been riddled with 100 bullets? That was totally Lara in this game. Sorry if I didn't record it. And here's a nice old lady who can sell me something called a Wasp 11. That's a type of cleaning appliance, right? And you know what? This is all fine. It's a video game after all, and the Uncharted series is guilty of hyperrealism too. The Tomb Raider Survivor series, though, is the developer's answer to the question, should a video game character be cracking wise while killing people? Their answer is obviously no, which makes for a pretty dry and stiff affair. While the Uncharted games are like Indiana Jones, with their wry wit and sense of fun, the Tomb Raider Survivor games are like Congo, a jungle adventure with some jokes, but otherwise it takes itself way too seriously. Still, the story was pretty surprising, with this inclusion of lore from Incan, Mayan, and even Christian faiths. It's a solid adventure game with very mature and gross content, with many collectibles and side missions, and it has a fairly decent ending boss fight. Unlike this piece of shit.
There's a whole mural under here.
Better get an x-ray in here. Oh, fuck it. Finally, we have Dragon Quest. Yep, just Dragon Quest. I've played many JRPGs, but I've never touched the genre's first blockbuster. With the release of the HD remake, I figured it was about time I rectified that. True to the NES original, you play as only one hero whom you can name. Your task is to find the means of defeating the evil Dragon Lord, and then doing so. There's also a princess to save, because of course there is. The story is a simple hero's journey, as it always was, but the remake adds new NPCs to add some color, such as these would-be heroes who want to save the land same as you, and some guardsmen who are kicking themselves over letting the princess get captured. Again, I never played the original or any of its previous ports, but I still appreciate how the new story scenes make the game more robust. Unfortunately, there is no escaping the battle theme, which might be the worst one in the entire series. Those long initial notes make it a little hard for me to get pumped for battle. I'd rather listen to one of Markiplier's extremely annoying screams.
I'm really scared now.
On second thought, maybe not. On that note, it was a little disappointing that many tracks from Dragon Quest III are repeated here. I learned a few things about the NES original in the Guide to JRPGs, such as how there are only 7 weapons, 7 armor pieces, and 10 spells. Plus the level cap is 30. That certainly doesn't apply to the HD remake, as it incorporates many things from later games, such as mini-medals and chapels. It also eliminates the need to buy torches to light up dungeons, plus keys to open doors. Battles aren't only one-on-one in the remake, but that doesn't mean enemies can't hit like mech trucks. I'm glad to say that I did not succumb to the temptation of lowering the difficulty. I played on normal throughout. I did use an online guide though, because those later bosses are trickier than Tricky Dick, and I needed to know what the hell to do. After collecting numerous bits and bobs throughout the land, I finally came upon the Dragon Lord's castle, which is just across the kingdom's capital. There, the evil tyrant offered me one hell of a deal.
Come, take thy rightful place at my side. Do so, and I will grant unto thee dominion over half this world. What sayest thou?
Don't accept! It's obviously a trap. I mean, he's the Dragon Lord. Of course he'll double-cross you. Yeah, but if you say yes, you won't have to listen to that awful battle theme anymore.
Then let it be so.
It turns out I wake up in an inn, and I get a trophy. It was all a dream. In conclusion, I'd say the remake has the best rendition of the story, but there is merit in finishing an old-school version, if only to test your patience with all its level grinding. As for Dragon Quest II, maybe I'll get to it someday. My backlog just keeps on growing, though.
You'll look after me, won't you? I think I must have misheard you. You'll look after me, won't you? I think I must have misheard you. You'll look after me, won't you? I think I must have misheard you. You'll look after me, won't you? I think I must have misheard you. You'll look after me, won't you?
Did I ever tell you the definition of insanity?
And there you have it! I'm ending this video kind of early, but it does feel good to get 2 games out of my backlog. Now let me tell you about my short story, The Girl in Cedar Falls. You can read it on Wattpad.com, or even download the visual novel I made on Itch. Links are in the description. It's about a high schooler named Stu who acts on a dare, asking out on a date the resident goth girl, Lucy. She shuts him down, hard, and ordinarily that would be the end of that. But Lucy has a secret, and when she's caught snooping around the neighborhood, she has a lot of answering to do. Question is, does Stu really want to know what Lucy is on about? Trends come and trends go, and I try not to get too caught up in them. With some trends though, I can't help but wonder if I shouldn't have missed out on them.
We all do it. And we all have to see it. And now, you can win it! As an NFT! It's the latest mobile crypto sensation, Shitstorm! Join millions of players who are collecting the hottest new NFTs! Just send your avatar into the storm, When it comes out, you'll receive one of thousands of poo NFTs. There's dog poo, cat poo, bird poo, elephant poo, crocodile poo, fossilized dinosaur poo, Logan Paul, and the remains of InfoWars. And if you're lucky, you'll get the rarest NFT of them all, the golden poo. Don't miss out. Start your collection and play Shitstorm today. I mean, NFTs were always shit, so why not drop the pretense?